everybody, welcome back to Final Fantathon, our quest to casually let's play every mainline Final Fantasy game plus some bonuses. And we're back into Final Fantasy XII. I hope you all had a fantastic week and a fantastic Thanksgiving. Today is Black Friday. Oh, we're the wrong party. Wait. I gotta remember, we're playing as Ash now. Yeah, it's Black Friday today. I think I'm gonna try to get some deals for Christmas later, but I don't know. Might do some shopping on stream, or might just do it tonight. I might just do it tonight, because we might do a double day again today, if we can. We'll see where we end up. Where... First of all, are we doing a hunt, or are we... I know we're going south. Oh yeah, there's this guy in the Giza Plains, but it needs to be raining. And then... we could go back to this guy too. Why don't we go back and try to kill this guy again? Because we were close to killing him. The Geyser Plains. That was this way, right? Yeah. Why don't we do that? Maybe we can, like, get a good chain going, too. That could be fun. We haven't really done, like, an actual big chain yet. So... like I said, yesterday was Thanksgiving. I had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you guys did too. We talked a little bit before we started Fantathon. But good to hear everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Also, I saw Advent in the chat. I had a dream and you were in it. Yes, not last night, the night before. I don't know why. So I was in the dream. I was at my cousin's house. And for some reason I was like also on vacation, and then I had to take a shower, but someone was already in the shower, so I walked like through my cousin's house, and then like you were in an apartment, but your apartment was somehow attached to my cousin's house. So I walk into your apartment with like my shower stuff, and I'm like, yo, can I use your shower? And you're sitting there on like a couch. It was like a really big couch. It was like, there was like two couches facing each other. It was like this big couch setup. And you were watching what looked like an animated series based on Final Fantasy Tactics. Which is weird, because there's that Final Fantasy IX animated series that's been, like, apparently in development or leaked or whatever. But this was, it looked like that, but it wasn't 9. It was Tactics. And it was awful. But you were watching it. And you were like, sure, you can use my shower. So I went over to your bathroom. But your bathroom was closed, and there was a light on. So I was like, there's probably someone in there. So then I walked back over to you, and I was like, oh, is someone in there? And you were like, I don't know, but we both didn't want to knock on the door to find out. So you were like, let me text my roommate, and if he answers, then he's not in there. But if he doesn't answer, then he's probably in there. So somehow that was our solution to figure out if the shower was open. And then I left, and that was like the dream. So, you know, no, that was normal. Oh, Arrow does AoE, that's nice. So yeah, I just thought you'd want to know that. You were in my dream. It was an elemental. Do we want to fight it? It's got Reflect and it's level 45. I don't think we want to fight that. I think the one in the Sand Sea we can actually fight, but that one we cannot fight. Yeah, there was a girl there too. I don't know who the girl was. She was sitting on the opposite couch, but neither one of us... Oh, the other thing that happened, so when we were waiting to see if your roommate texted you back, I started watching the show with you and this girl that was on the couch, and you were sitting there watching it, and I started watching it, and then I said, wow, this looks really bad, and you said nothing. And I didn't know if it was like you didn't hear me, or you were so engrossed in the show that like you weren't paying attention, or like you were offended that I called it bad and you didn't know how to respond. But it was like the most awkward thing ever. I was just like, wow, this looks really bad, and you were just stone-faced. Didn't even look my direction. It was really awkward. So thanks for that. Thanks for making my dream awkward. Appreciate it. That was the only other thing I remember. And then I left and tried to go back to my cousin's house, and then I woke up, I think. So anyways, now that I told you that, I wanted to tell you before you left. So the Game Awards are coming up, and I thought of a really cool idea that we could do to celebrate, quote-unquote, celebrate the Game Awards coming up. So we've had like this, we've been talking about the Game Awards all week long, actually like the last 2 weeks, and I've been telling everyone that God of War is going to win because it's fresh in everyone's mind, and it's getting 10s across the board, and it's just one of those things where it's like, it's the big Sony blockbuster of the year, so like it's gonna win the popularity contest and win, because, you know, the Game Awards are more of a popularity contest, not actually which games are better. And I've been spreading my Game of the Year propaganda all week long, but a couple people, specifically Solid, disagreed with me and said that Horizon's going to win, which I want Horizon to win, but I don't think it's going to win. And some people are even saying Elden Ring will win, which, I mean, if it's a popularity contest, there is a chance that Elden Ring wins. I don't think there's a chance that Forbidden West wins, because it came out right when Elden Ring came out, and it lost a lot of its steam because of that. I think it deserves to win, but I don't think it's going to win. So anyway, I'm just going to sell these, I don't care. I'm selling everything but teleport stones. So I've been kind of touting my whole, like, I know everything about the Game Awards, and God of War is going to win. So I figured, let's put that to the test. Let's put all of our Game of the Year knowledges to the test. And so I had my wife write up a list of all of the nominees for Games of the Year. And this is the official Game of the Year show. I know, like, everyone does Games of the Year, but we're talking about, like, the show. All the nominees, and we're going to guess what the winners were of every year. So how we're going to do this is I'm going to say the year and the nominees, and then everyone's going to guess what they think won that year. And then after that, I'm going to ask yay or nay, and we're going to get yes or no in the chat, depending on if you think it should have won. So do you agree with the choice? Okay? So, and we can do this while I chain in the Sand Sea here. This will be fun. Because I don't know, I feel like I'm not going to get any of these right, and then I'm going to question my own authority on this subject, because I've been touting my propaganda all week long, and I don't even think I'm going to get any of these right. I think I know like 2 of them for sure, but other than that, I don't think I remember any of them. So here we go. You ready? Everyone get ready. Lurkers, if you want to play along. This will be fun. Oh, before we start that also, because I don't want to forget, I had a comment I wanted to read out. This is from TM. He said, the Marcus tells in a subtle way that the only way to see Amalia is to go to the judge that is holding her, so Bosch draws his sword, implying a threat, which gets them arrested for threatening an important person, and thus he has an excuse to send them all to the judge immediately. The Marcus figured that they'd get them together while also covering his own skin. So that makes a lot of sense. We were talking about that cutscene before. I think the disconnect is I didn't realize that that's why Bosch pulled his weapon. Like, they didn't, and maybe they did, and maybe I just didn't pick it up. Like, maybe it's my fault, but I don't know if they did a good enough job conveying that he was pulling his sword, like, just to get them arrested. It actually felt like he was angry. Like, it felt like he was actually angry. Like, that's the vibe I got. So I was trying to figure out, like, why is Bosch angry, or, like, you know, like, who's actually angry at who. I think that, like, that was the part that confused me. Now that I know that he pulled his sword on purpose, it makes more sense. And, like, the way that Ash brought it up was so wordy and so, like, low-key. Oh, so that's how we get to him, is get arrested. Like, she didn't come out and say it at all, so that made that scene make a lot more sense to me. But yeah, in general, it's the wordy language that loses you a lot of the time. Like, if he had just said, well, then what if I do this? You know, but, like, that wouldn't fit the dialogue, obviously. You figured out why the subtitles are different? I had a theory and then it ended up being wrong. I'd love to hear your theory, or if you actually know for sure. Because my theory was proved wrong really fast. Yeah, I think in general this game just, it helps to play it more than once, I think. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. There's plenty of movies that are really complicated that you have to watch more than once to understand the story. But I think with movies, it's a bit easier to watch them twice because it's only like a 2-hour experience, whereas here it's like a 80-hour experience, so doing it twice is a bit more of an ask. But like I think video game stories need to be a bit more straightforward because they are such a long experience. Horizon MMO? No, I haven't heard about that. Alright, so anyways. Here we go. We're gonna play Game of the Year Guess. Feel free to follow along on YouTube too if you don't know these. You can even, if you want to be real risky, comment your answers and then everyone can see how right or wrong you are. Here we go. So, the very first Game of the Year show was in 2014. You ready for this? The nominees, these games sound ancient. The nominees were Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, Bayonetta 2, Dark Souls 2, Dragon Age Inquisition, and Hearthstone. Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, Bayonetta 2, Dark Souls 2, Dragon Age Inquisition, and Hearthstone. Who do you think won? CJ, look at the tier 2. 53, my man. It's a pretty big split. Pretty big split in the chat. Let me read this. The developers wanted a Kurian speech to seem otherworldly in quality, thus they made the language very flowery, but that made things harder to follow, so the subtitles basically translated more straightforward language. Eventually, in the Zodiac Age, the subtitles were ultimately changed to reflect what was actually being said by the character. So it was mostly just, when they translated it, a different team did the subtitles versus the voiceover, which is what I kind of expected, but I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that maybe it was on purpose to save space, but nah, it was just two different teams kind of thing. So I saw a lot of Dragon Age. I saw one Dark Souls 2. Only one Dark Souls 2, huh? One Hearthstone. Any more guesses? Game of the Year 2014. Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, Bayonetta 2, Dark Souls 2, Dragon Age Inquisition, or Hearthstone? What won Game of the Year 2014? Lots of Shadow of Mordors. Dragon Age, Dark Souls 2. So... I don't think Middle-earth won. I'm between Dark Souls 2 and Dragon Age. I think I'm going to say Dark Souls 2. As much as I hate to just go Dark Souls, but... I'm going to say Dark Souls 2. The winner was... Dragon Age Inquisition. Wow. That's... I mean... So, yes or no in the chat? Dragon Age... think it deserved a win? I think it deserved a win. I'm just kind of shocked that it did. In terms of like, because what I'm really trying to do with this is decide like, are the Game Awards really just a popularity contest, or are they rigged, or do we really think a lot of these games deserve to win? I think in this case, it's at least good enough where I could see it winning, you know? I know a lot of people are disagreeing, but I think, like, at least against those other games, I think it at least was, like, I'm not completely offended that it won. But, I don't know, Dark Souls 2 makes a bit more sense to me. Even Hearthstone kind of makes more sense to me. Hearthstone was pretty big when it came out. Alright, here we go. 2015. Put yourself back in 2015. What were you doing in 2015? I had just graduated college. And bought my first house, I think, in 2015. The nominees were Super Mario Maker, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, Bloodborne, Fallout 4. Who won? Everyone's saying The Witcher for sure. Here's the thing. As much as... Oh, I screwed up my chain. I wasn't paying attention. That's alright. We weren't that high yet. Here's the thing. I know that some people are going to say, like, should have been Bloodborne. But I don't feel like Bloodborne was as big as Witcher when it released. Like, Bloodborne picked up steam over time. And I don't remember how late in the year Bloodborne came out. But, like, I feel like Bloodborne slowly became a lot of people's favorite Souls game, but I don't know if it was, like, it had the impact that Witcher had. It came out in November. Oh, but so did Witcher. But, see, that's my point, though, is, like, Witcher came out in November, but it hit hard right when it came out, whereas I think Bloodborne took a bit. Like, I think 2016, it really picked up more steam. Probably because everyone was playing Witcher. I mean, that's not the discount Bloodborne. Like, Bloodborne was a massive, massive game. It still is. It's still a lot of people's favorite, but for Game of the Year, like, yeah, I think Witcher deserves it more. The other games, yikes. Like, heck no. So I'm also going Witcher 3. I really hope Witcher 3 won. If it didn't, we're gonna have problems. Okay, Witcher 3 won. Thank goodness. Yeah, that would have been kind of a yikes if Witcher didn't win, honestly. Okay. 2016. We have Uncharted 4: A Thief's End, Doom, Titanfall 2, Overwatch, and Inside. Wow, what a dry year that was. Holy cow. I mean, I love Uncharted 4, but it's not a Game of the Year. And I love Doom, but it's a remake. I don't know if, like, it deserves Game... I mean, I think Doom deserves Game of the Year, to be honest, but I think I'm biased. Titanfall 2 was actually really good. Like, a lot of people really liked the multiplayer. But I don't know if it's Game of the Year. Inside was good, but it's not going to win. In Overwatch, like, yeah, it was big, but I have reservations about, like, a free-to-play... Well, actually, it wasn't free-to-play. It was full price, but like a multiplayer-only tactical shooter winning Game of the Year just feels weird to me. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. It shouldn't feel weird to me, but there's something about Game of the Year where it's like... I feel like Game of the Year should be everything. It should be a great story, a great soundtrack, amazing graphics. Like, it should be the whole package. And a multiplayer-only competitive shooter just doesn't feel like a full package to me. It feels like a very niche thing. Does that make sense? So I think that's why I'm, like, hesitant to say Overwatch. Yeah, Doom's more of a reboot. I shouldn't really call it a remake, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not an original, completely original idea. When it comes to Game of the Year, I always look for that game that kind of, like, pushed the boundaries. And for as amazing as Doom is, it was just Doom again, you know? It was Doom, but done to the absolute best it could possibly ever be done. What is that? Oh, frogs. I don't want to fight frogs. Bran, get back here. So, I mean, if we're going by, like, just the best game to do what it was trying to do, I think Doom wins. If we're going by popularity contest, I think Overwatch wins. I think if we go for overall best game, I maybe Doom. I don't know. Like, Uncharted, you could say, pushed the limit the most. Like, it had the best graphics. Like, it was the biggest game of the year. But no one cared about Uncharted 4, sadly. I loved it, but no one cared about it. Like, it was the 4th game in the series. It was a hard sell. These guys are weak against arrow. I should blast them with arrow. Where'd my arrow go? I mean, I'm a huge fan of Uncharted, so 4 really, like, hit me in the weak spot. I was crying like a baby at the end of 4, so, like, it has a special place for me, but I just don't think it's Game of the Year. So, I don't know. I guess Overwatch, like... I don't know. Okay, we talked a bunch, so let's reset. What's everyone's final choice? What do you think won? Not what you think should win, but what do you think won? Overwatch? Doom, Overwatch? Most people are saying Overwatch. Alright, the winner was... Overwatch. Overwatch did win. Deserved, you think? Yes or no? I think so. Like, honestly, if nothing else, just because of lack of competition. No, Overwatch is a tactical shooter, not a battle royale. It was Blizzard's attempt to do skill-oriented, team-based shooter. Oh, dang it, I killed another fruit. I need to get deeper in where it's like only these guys. Where are we going here? Oh, we haven't even been over here yet. Where's the bird's over there? Let's go that way. Overwatch 2, anybody? Everyone likes Overwatch 2. Alright. 2017. So... This'll be something. 2017. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Super Mario Odyssey. Persona 5. Horizon Zero Dawn. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I think Breath of the Wild. I think Breath of the Wild was. You know what's crazy though? Like, if there was ever a year where something would beat Breath of the Wild, it could be 2017. Like, Persona 5 and Super Mario Odyssey and Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, dang, they got screwed. Because they all could easily win Game of the Year. There's absolutely no way anything beat Breath of the Wild. Yeah, that was a crazy year. Holy cow. Like I said, Horizon, Persona 5, and Odyssey all deserve Game of the Year in a different year. But, yeah. You're not gonna beat Breath of the Wild. There's no freaking way. I think everyone would have, like, rioted and never went back to another Game of the Year if they didn't give it to Breath of the Wild. Which it deserved, for sure. But like I said, I could see any of those winning. Crowd of angry Link noises. Dude, Arrow is so strong. It does cost a lot, though. Alright. 2018. I know the winner of this one, so I'm not going to say. This one also had 6 nominees. I'm not sure why they had 6, but... 2018, God of War, Red Dead Redemption 2, Celeste, Marvel's Spider-Man, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Monster Hunter World. The winner was Celeste, obviously. I won't take no for an answer. If only. Yeah, pretty strong year. And I always say... The reason I know the winner of this one is because I always say that Celeste would have won if it weren't for God of War. But, yeah, God of War won. You guys think God of War deserves it? I think so. I honestly think that Celeste is second place, though. I want to say it actually took second place. I don't remember if they actually showed the votes. I think Celeste deserves second place. But I think God of War, unfortunately, deserves it. Red Dead was really big, but it was... There was some, like, some people that didn't like Red Dead 2. It was a bit different than Red Dead 1. And Celeste won independent, yeah, so it was hot. I could talk all day about why Celeste could win, so I won't do that. I'll spare you, but... yeah, I think God of War definitely deserved to win. If Red Dead won, I wouldn't be, like, super duper shocked either. The rest of them, I'd probably be a bit shocked. Monster Hunter World was great, but it's just more Monster Hunter. Like, it was the one that really hit it big here versus in Japan, but still, I don't think it deserves Game of the Year. It was a big game, but it's because Monster Hunter was already big. So, but yeah, God of War definitely deserves. All right, 2019. Up to a 20 chain. Did we, we're up one level so far. Oh, I got a teleport stone. 2019, here we go. Resident Evil 2, which is obviously the remake. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Death Stranding. Control. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Or The Outer Worlds. That's a tough one. That's kind of tough. My first instinct was Sekiro. But Sekiro also, like, wasn't for everyone. I could see them not picking it. And honestly, if Sekiro wins, that's the first Souls-like game to win. All the other Souls games lost. So that's pretty interesting. I'll tell you this much. Death Stranding didn't win. I hope not. If Death Stranding won, I'll be very upset. Control didn't win. I think Control came out pretty late in the year too, maybe. Not sure. Can't go this way, there's tomatoes. No, it was earlier? I still don't think it won. Outer Worlds was really big when it came out, but I just don't see it winning. So for me, it's either Resident Evil 2, Super Smash Bros., or Sekiro. I don't think Smash Bros. Would win. I don't know why. Smash Bros. Just doesn't feel like a Game of the Year. It's like, I don't know, something about it. I just don't think they'd pick it. And Resident Evil 2 is a remake. An amazing remake, but a remake. So I guess I'm going Sekiro also. Let's see. The winner was Sekiro. You guys think deserved? That's kind of wild to me that Sekiro was the first Souls-like game to win Game of the Year, and it wasn't even a Souls game. I don't know what it is, but I just don't feel like Super Smash Bros. Is a Game of the Year. Maybe just because it's not, like, innovative. It's just the next Smash Bros. And granted, Ultimate, if there was ever a Smash Bros. To deserve it, it'd be Ultimate, but I don't know. Something about Smash Bros. Just doesn't... I mean, it definitely wins the popularity contest, that's for sure, but it doesn't have that, like, single-player experience or, like, you know, it's more about the community than the actual video game. Doesn't have a story or, like, any... I don't know, it's just... It's like a collection of other properties, too. Like, all the music and stuff is a collection from other games. You know? So, like, it almost feels like a collection rather than its own thing. I mean, again, if Ultimate won, I wouldn't be, like, crying about it, but it just doesn't feel like it should win. .28 chain. Okay. And finally, or no, we got 2 more, right? Yeah, 2 more. 2020. Everyone's favorite year. Whoever won 2020 probably wishes they didn't win. Wow, what a lineup too. I'm surprised the lineup's so good for 2020, given it was 2020. We have Ghost of Tsushima, Doom Eternal, The Last of Us Part 2, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Hades, and Final Fantasy VII Remake. Wow, what a lineup. I don't even know how to, like, go through that. So, like, Ghost 100% deserves it, I would say. Doom Eternal, again, it's like, at least with Doom Eternal, it was way more innovative. You know, it wasn't just like, it wasn't like Doom, it was way more innovative than Doom 2016. But I don't know. I don't know if it stacks up to the other games. And I love Doom Eternal. Like, one of my favorite games, but I just, if I'm talking unbiasedly, I don't know if it stacks up to the others. Last of Us Part 2. See, this is where I'd say, like, it does not deserve to win. It was way too... Some people liked it, some people hated it. But because Game of the Year is a bit of a popularity contest, I wouldn't be shocked if it won. It's also the big Sony blockbuster of the year, so I really would not be surprised if it won. I don't think it deserves to win, though. I'd be a bit sad on that one if it won. Animal Crossing New Horizons. Man, I don't even know where to put that. Because it was unbelievably popular. Like, sold the Switch. I don't even know where to put that one. Hades, I freaking love Hades. It totally deserves to win, but it's not going to because it's an indie. And that lineup. If the lineup was worse, 100% deserves to win. But unfortunately, I don't think it wins. But how amazing would it be if it did? And then Final Fantasy VII Remake, which was one of the biggest games of all time, like in terms of budget and how long it took to make and how big it was and how newsworthy it was. And also, personally, I think it was one of the best games ever made for the past, like, decade, just because of how complete it was. It got one update and that's it, and the update pretty much did nothing. Like, it was a complete game when it came out. There was no brokenness, no nothing, just a good, well-made video game, so I give it credit for that. And of course I loved it, but not everyone did, so, you know, I have to take that into consideration. But it is an incredibly well-made game. Like, just one of the greatest soundtracks of all time. Like, the amount of work and the amount of different people that put work into that soundtrack. You know, the graphics were both insane, but also there were problems with it that they fixed later, but there were some problems with the graphics. but it was a incredibly well-made game. So, like, I think it would deserve to win. Did it win? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to pick, honestly. I had no idea. I think Ghost, Last of Us, Animal Crossing, and Remake all have a pretty much equal chance of winning. I think Remake and Ghost are the most qualified to win. No, I don't remember. I don't really follow the Game Awards much. I usually watch the Game Awards for the announcements, not the winners. Because like I said, I always just saw it as a stupid popularity contest. But so far, I've agreed with most of their choices, so... I'll say for what I think they picked, I'll say Ghost. But I would pick the remake, I think. I think they picked Ghost or Last of Us. But I really don't think Last of Us deserves it, so I'll go Ghost. The winner was, of course, The Last of Us. That's probably the first one that I actually completely disagree with. Because it was way too divisive. Some people absolutely hated it. And it feels like it was just the big Sony game and they picked it because of that. Yeah, but I definitely disagree with that. And it's a sequel that's not, like, to me, okay, here's the thing. To me, if there's a sequel to a game and it's not 1000% better than the first game, I don't think it deserves to win Game of the Year. Like, if it's a sequel, it better be the greatest sequel ever made to win Game of the Year. Because you're taking an idea that was already there and building upon it, whereas the other games are completely unique experiences. You know what I mean? So, like, for me, it really has to fight for its place if it's a sequel. And Last of Us 2 was not 100% better than the original. I would say most people would disagree with that. And that... We broke my chain. Oh, my chain was already broken anyways. Did my chain reset when I moved areas? I think it did. That's fine, so I'm gonna go do this hunt. I wish Hades won. By that notion, God of War won't win this year's. Well, God of War is getting 10s across the board. So I think it did do... I think it is like... Well, I don't know if it's better than the original, but it seems to be standing out versus the original. I don't know though, because I haven't played it yet, so... But you're right, that does challenge my thought process with this year's. Yeah, so I disagree with that one. I think Ghost should win, or Remake. Like, I want Remake to win, but I think Ghost probably deserves it even more. Alright. Final one. 2021. I know what won this year, so I won't guess. 2021, Deathloop, Psychonauts 2, Metroid Dread, It Takes Two, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, or Resident Evil Village. A lot of us know what won because it was a meme. So for this year, I feel like... I feel like Deathloop was like the most critically acclaimed one. But it was also a bit short. And I don't know if it's like... Where's the bird at? Up there? He's up there. I don't know. I don't know if it's like Game of the Year. Psychonauts 2 is great, but it's not Game of the Year. Metroid Dread, that could be something where I could see it could fight for Game of the Year. Like it was the return to the original Metroid format, and it was teased for like ever, and finally came out and was actually really good. Like I could see people saying Game of the Year on Metroid Dread. Dark's kind of poopy. Ratchet and Clank. Man, I freaking loved Ratchet and Clank, but my problem with Ratchet and Clank is it was really short, and it was just more Ratchet. It was Ratchet and Clank in the new era. It was Ratchet and Clank on PS5, which is amazing, but it's not like it changed the world. It was just Ratchet and Clank on PS5. But it was really good. It's just, I don't think it's Game of the Year. And then Resident Evil Village, I don't know a lot about, but I think Resident Evil Village wins in terms of popularity contest. I think we could probably all agree with that. I think Resident Evil Village was like the most popular game of the year. So like, if I was going into this not knowing what won, I would be incredibly shocked if Village lost. Like, out of all those games, it's the biggest one, the most popular one, it's Resident Evil, which everyone dies over. Like, I would be completely shocked if Resident Evil Village didn't win. And it didn't win. Instead, It Takes Two won. Which I'm still baffled by. Do you guys think It Takes Two deserves to win that year? You don't need two people, but it's pretty boring without two people. So yeah, I remember when It Takes Two got announced as the winner, I was like absolutely dumbfounded. It's a basically co-op only indie game. So it's co-op only and it's indie. Two things that have never won Game of the Year. And it's up against Resident Evil Village. No idea why it won. I'm glad it won, because it's the first indie game to win. And that's, like, really cool. And, like, you know, me and loving indies. But I was shocked. I was like, what? How in the world did it win? It has a really great, heartfelt story, yeah. And some of the gameplay is pretty unique. It wasn't as unique as I thought it was going to be. Like, people told me it was like one of the most unique games ever made, and I played it, and I was like, I mean, it's got some cool co-op gameplay, but it's not like revolutionary in my eyes. I almost feel like a lot of people just never played a game like that. So it felt more revolutionary than it actually was. Like, I had played Portal 2 co-op, and that was more co-op intensive than It Takes Two. But It Takes Two is way more unique. How's it going, Val? I mean, like I said, It Takes Two is a great game, and I'm glad it won. But I was shocked, yeah. Like, it's really strange that it won, I think. And I feel like now it's really popular, but I personally didn't see anything about It Takes Two until it won. And then I saw videos all over the place of people playing it. But I didn't see a single video about It Takes Two until after it won Game of the Year. So, yeah. I don't know. Weird. Very strange. Was it all a ruse to like make a big story for the year because there wasn't really that many choices? They wanted to give it to something weird so everyone would talk about the Game Awards. Maybe. But yeah, I don't know. So out of all those, there was actually only like 2 that I disagreed with, and it was the last 2. Everything pre-2020 I pretty much agreed with. And or was my choice. So, I think this little game gave me a better appreciation of the Game Awards. I went back to the first one, 2014. There was obviously Game of the Years and like Game Informer and everything before that, but the official show started in 2014. So yeah, I think I have a bigger appreciation for the show. Like, I think they seem to do a pretty good job. But having said that, the last 2 years I disagreed with, so now I'm kind of wondering if this year I'm going to disagree with also. Because the last 2 years I disagreed with. But anyways, for those of you that don't know, the 2022 nominees are A Plague Tale Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Which, I've said a million times, I think Horizon Forbidden West deserves the win. I think God of War is going to win. That's my stance. If anything, if Elden Ring were to win, I wouldn't be like overly shocked. The other ones, I'd be shocked. I'd also be pretty shocked if Forbidden West won. But I think it should win. Dude, imagine if Stray won, like, the whole thing. I think I wouldn't watch the Game Awards again. To be honest. Dude, I love Stray, but it's not Game of the Year. It is like 4 hours long. It was a bit repetitive near the end. The story didn't really like the finale of the story was okay, but it wasn't anything revolutionary. I absolutely loved playing it, but it's not Game of the Year. I would be concerned if it won Game of the Year. Over Elden Ring, Forbidden West, and God of War. Maybe in, yeah, you couldn't even make your custom kitty. Maybe a couple years ago when there was not 3 Game of the Years in 1 year. A year where Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon doesn't exist. How's it going, network? Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. You had to go Black Friday shopping at Lowe's. I'm doing some Black Friday shopping tonight in Amazon. With Amazon, at Amazon. I don't know what verb to use. Or, that's not a verb. I don't know what word to use. Got a free copy of Modern Warfare 2. Nice. I'll see you on the battlefield, soldier. How's it going, Kozan? How's it going, Bone? How's it going, D. Wilso? Plague Tale, I'm not even... isn't even on my radar. Like I said, in another year, maybe, but Elden Ring, God of War, Forbidden West. Nothing is beating that. It is one of those three. I don't even think if I could pick any game from the past, it would beat those three. Except Breath of the Wild, I guess. If Breath of the Wild came back, it could win. That's about it. That is a monumental hurdle. Imagine they'd say, like, and the game of the year for 2022 is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Some, like, random Nintendo employee walks up there. Thanks, I guess. We weren't really prepared for this. The next year that there's, like, no good games, we should all just vote for Breath of the Wild. The only game to ever win Game of the Year 2 years. Hey, when Breath of the Wild won, was it the Switch version or the Wii U version that won? Because maybe the other one could win. Like, before the Switch version won, but now the Wii U version can win. You're reaching. Imagine a Wii U game winning Game of the Year. What the heck is a Wii U?